Welcome to how to find the percent of a number to identify the discount, the markup, the tax, gratuity, or commission. Things you should already know. You must turn a percent into a fraction or decimal before you can multiply it. Therefore, if you see a percent, all you have to do is get rid of the percent sign and move the decimal 2 places to the left, and you have a conversion. Well, it's time to get down to business. So how do you find the percent of a number? Well, you do it through multiplication. You're going to multiply a given percent by the given number. For example, it's asking me to take 52% of 75 or 52% times 75, but I can't multiply it because I still have a percent. So I'm going to make it a decimal, and I'm going to multiply, which will give me 39. And if you could take the percent of a number, then you could find the discount or markup of an item. You could find the amount of tax that will be added to your bill. You could find the amount of tip or gratuity you want to give to your waiter or waitress, and you can find the amount of commission you might earn from a sale. So let's look at some real life problems. So here you have Victoria. She buys a t-shirt that's on sale for 20% off, and they want to know how much the discount is going to be. In other words, they're asking you to take a percent of a number. In this case, they're asking you to take 20% of 32 or a percent of the cost. So you're going to take 20%, times it by 32. Of course, you can't multiply yet. You have to convert the 20% to a decimal. So you take 0.20, multiply it by 32, and you get $6.40 as your discount. Now that's the discount, not the total price. Keep that in mind. All right, what if you have a markup where you're an owner of a store and you buy games for $12, but you mark up the price 28%? It's another way of saying take a percent of a number. And all you're going to do is take 28%, times it by the cost, which is $12, and multiply. But of course, you can't multiply yet. You got to make it a decimal first, the percent, and it's 0.28 times 12, and that's going to give me $3.36. So Bill marks up his items $3.36, and that's the profit he's going to make on the sale. What about commission? What if you made 15% commission on every sale you made? In this case, Jackson sold $200 worth of toys, and he makes 15% off that. And that's just another way of saying take a percent of a number and find the commission. So you take 15% and you multiply it times $200. Of course, you got to convert the 15% to 0.15 and then multiply it by 200. And in the end, Jackson's going to make $30. What about gratuity or tip? Let's say you got a bill for $125 and you want to leave an 18% tip. All you're doing is taking a percent of a number. You're going to take the 18% and you're going to multiply it times the total bill, which is $125, and convert the 18% to a decimal, and then multiply, and you're going to give it $22.50 tip. Same goes for tax. You're doing the same thing. You're going to take a percent of a number. In this case, the bill was $72.18, and you're going to pay an 8% tax. And once again, you're going to multiply $72.18 times 8%. But of course, the 8% is going to be converted to a decimal first, and then multiply. And in the end, you're paying about $5.77 for tax. You can see you're kind of doing the same thing. You're just taking a percent of a number, but it's time for you to try. So pause the video here and complete the 2 problems, and once you're done, you'll unpause the video to reveal the answers. Well, here are the answers. I hope you got it right. If you did, throw yourself a dance party. And remember, the only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. This has been a Struggling Student Productions. If you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to our channel.